I just didn't think there was some of that stuff you wanted everybody to hear.
Oh no. Just this stuff now.
Just this stuff.
Just that, yeah, please. This YouTube personality.
Come on in, folks. The water's fine.
Influencer.
Yeah.
Influencer.
Yeah.
I know you can't be an influencer. No, you end up killing yourself or something. Influencer. What a strange world we live in.
Oh dear.
Drink more coffee.
You said
it. Here we go.
Nita might have this program, says you can help support ICN by sending stars. So, folks, help support the Indie Comics Network that we're proudly on, by us sending a few stars. I'm not sure if we're up for super chats yet or not, but hopefully we are. Jim Cox in the house. Hey, gents. Jim, glad you're joining us.
Hi, Jim.
Good morning.
Dave in the house. Morning, Dave. Hope you're all right.
Dave.
A whiskey can't do that for you, Dave. Sorry. Anyway. Come on in, folks. We're going to look at some Two-Fisted Tales. As opposed to Charles' favorite book, One-Fisted Tales.
Charles likes all kinds of things that we don't talk about in polite society.
Apparently, yes. Here's the opening. Here we go.
What was that? This is not a charade. We need total concentration. Now, once again, this time, with the...
There we go. I got rid of the other opening. It was only funny for so long.
When you were 4.
Two-Fisted Tales, folks. I'd show my face, but I already have the camera set up. But I'm your host, Randy Zimmerman. I've been at Arrow Comics.
I have my face, but I wouldn't have frightened anyone.
Yeah, there we are. Don't want to scare you off this early in the morning. We're glad you're all here. So Dave's laughing. Says, good night, morning owls for sure. Yeah. Not sure where in the world you are, David, but you're welcome. Thank you. Thanks for joining us. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I'm from wonderful Michigan, the middle of Michigan, just a little south of Flint, 2 miles south of this bad water line. So here to talk to you about Two-Fisted Tales. I'm Randy Zimmerman, arrowcomics.store. If you want to see some of my work, there's some great stuff over there, a wide variety of material I'm very proud of. So go over there and take a look when you can. Also joining us today is Glenn Fleming. Glenn, introduce yourself.
Hey, everybody. My name is Glenn Fleming. I'm 4,000 miles east of Randy in Manchester, England. And it's pretty wet as well. I spent 40 years in graphics, arguing with marketing execs and people like that. And I've drawn lots of comics and licensed characters through that time, published lots of books. I'm just really glad to be here. I'll just keep it short.
David's in New York City, halfway, not quite halfway in between, but pretty close as far as land goes. Also joining us, Mr. Russ Leach. Russ, introduce yourself.
I'm 4,029 miles east of where Randy is. I'm a little bit further down in the country, but our country's so small, it barely is worth worrying about as far as state's concerned. We're just a tiny little country.
It's like it's an island.
It's like it's an island. Who would have thought? Yeah. Who would have thought an island could be so porous? But there you go. My name's Russ Leach. I'm a comic book artist from the UK. You can see my stuff in the pages of Batman in Europe or Doctor Who or Marvel stuff. I did some Ben 10. So I've been around the block a bit. Lots of independent work. My own book, Only Death Can Save Us, and a new book in the new year, The Shadow Kingdom with Arrow. You can find out all about that at my website, russleach.com. All my connections are there. To the social medias. And also my email list, very important. Sign up for that, please. russleach.com.
russleach.com. Also joining us, Mr. Whiskey. Whiskey, introduce yourself.
Hey there, I'm a Whiskey. I'm the lead for Bandit and Ricochet studio or art studio. I do 3D models, action figures, miniatures, that sort of thing. I'm a production specialist. You can find me there over at Bandit and Ricochet on the old X if you ever want something made. And I've been doing 3D models and stuff for well over 15 years. And I guess I'm the youngest of the group or panelists today. So
We're all old men.
By some way.
Oh my god! Yeah.
And Toronto. I'm from Toronto, Canada, so that's where you can find me.
Never mind.
Never mind.
Never mind those Canadians.
We don't hold it against you.
All right. We're back to Two Fisted Tales, folks. After spending a couple of weeks looking through Halo Jones, I did go through and I've got the collected coming. So we can probably do a Halo Jones book 3 here and in colors if we want.
Yeah.
That Strontium Dog casebook had some Ian Gibson in it. It was from Ian Gibson did some Strontium Dog in Star-Lord.
Okay.
All right.
There you go. And it was a very loose style, coloured and very loose style.
Must have been in their annual.
I don't know. It was lovely, though.
Did he
Yeah.
colour it?
I'll have to look it
I
up.
don't know. It didn't say.
Those
Right.
books aren't in color.
No, they're all in
Right,
black
but
and
they-
white. So what it was it was shot and it was in grey tone.
It would have been in gray tone if it was in
Yeah.
color in the annual. Yeah.
Right.
Two Fisted Tales, great cover by Harvey Kurtzman. One of the best.
That cover's been flopped, hasn't it?
Mhm.
People, you don't get two left-handed people on.
Unless, unless Kurtzman's left-handed and didn't think about it.
Maybe.
Maybe.
The it reminds me of that the drawing doesn't, but the fact that they flopped it. They flopped the Captain America cover, didn't they? They were all saluting Hitler with their left arm. Do you remember that one? But anyway, that's a different
No.
story.
Yeah.
Right. If you look at the bottom right-hand corner of that cover, that guy's the guy with a nice leg. Look at that. Look at that brushstroke right there, right at the bottom. The confidence and the thickness of that brushstroke just on the floor. Yeah. Can you see that?
He don't care, does he?
He just
Flip-flop.
whacks it in.
Yeah.
Whacks it in. It's absolutely brilliant. But
Yeah, and the cover is colored by Marie Severin, who colored the original.
Oh.
Right. You know, there's a surprise. She's those people had their hands on everything, didn't they?
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant.
Really impresses me there is the gun stock. Look at the fine line on that, just a touch.
You have to really point your attention over to him. Says, gee, Joe, I heard that a lot of the enemy are infiltrating with these refugees. How can we tell? Joe, did you hear me? Joe?
Yo.
I'm surprised that knife hasn't got blood dripping off it, but that's probably the code, isn't it?
This is before the code, but yeah,
Oh, right,
it was probably those considerations for that. Yeah. They didn't
Maybe
want to be too
didn't-
violent.
Maybe he didn't use the knife. Could have.
If it had been 6 months to a year later, it would have been dripping. They
See,
would have done that.
We said this about Kurtzman before. His line is just so good. There's no wasted line. Everything works. Like even the refugees there in the background, they're not highly detailed, but they look like they are.
Thin to thick too.
Yeah.
I'm inking in order to pull the body out here. Really well, masterfully done.
Is that knife actually even the dude that's holding it? It kind of looks like a potentially it could be a GI knife.
It's a bayonet, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's got the little thing on the
Mm-hmm.
So he offed the guy and then stole his knife.
Yeah.
Well,
Could have been.
maybe he was just using it, but he's definitely the bad guy, isn't he?
Yeah.
Or he's definitely the guy against the American soldier.
he's going to get it next, isn't he?
Yeah.
This guy's in blue and this guy's in green.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah.
We are looking at the Russ Cockrum reprints of the EC volumes, shot off of the originals, done in black and white.
Not to be confused with the
Outside of the
Rusty
covers.
prints.
Yeah, that's right. Right after this, all of the original were broken down by story and auctioned off. Most of it at the time going for between $3,000 and $5,000. Some a little higher, but not much. Nowadays, there's a zero added to that at least.
Yeah. John Severin.
I saw a John Severin picture this morning actually of Cull fighting a lizard man in the swamp.
There you go.
Oh wow, what a fantastic image it was.
So I wake up and tell Bing I want to see stuff like that.
Yeah, it just happened to be in my feed in on Facebook. It was an array of images, and one of them was a John Severin image, which was just superb.
It's the algorithm for you. They're always listening. Big Brother is always listening.
What I like about this artwork is the attention to detail. Like I said last time, like these guys have all got a Garand except that guy there. He's got a BAR, where the one who says, "Listen, did you hear a groan?" on the right. That's a BAR. That's a Garand. The guy below.
Oh,
where he says,
"Yeah,
listen,
one on the right." Yeah, his gun's different. Yeah,
that's a BAR, and the others have got M1 Garands. That's really clever.
Yeah,
I like that kind of stuff. And even on the top where he's talking to you, doing that Kirby thing, looking at the audience, you can see where you can snap the sling to further on the end of the gun, end of the rifle. Very good. Somebody who knows what they're doing there.
John says, "Let's see the thumbs." LOL. Says penciled by John Severin and inked by Bill Elder.
Yeah.
And this as well. This is a great photo of Harvey Kurtzman, by the way.
Well, I really like about that first panel there is just the shadow, like with the inks and stuff on the elbow or in the shoulder and part of the upper torso, and it's just simple and easy, but it's probably not easy, but it just looks.
It frames the dead guys as well.
Yeah, it does. Lieutenant, some of our guys in this gully murdered. Massacre. I think it's to me. I can see it. They're working off of layouts that Kurtzman has given them, layout roughs, because a lot of this composition here is very, very much Kurtzman. And as editor, he would do that. He would send them thumbed out roughs, and to show them what he was thinking about. How he saw it going or looking.
You don't see many of comics these days set during the the war.
Well, I'm doing one right now.
This was the big topic of discussion. This is the Korean War, or Korean conflict, as they would properly call it.
Look at the if you just sort of look at the whole spread in its entirety, what an great evenness of ink there is.
Yeah.
So there's not too much. There's not too little. It is just right. It's just so there's everything's solid, but it's not over the top.
Mm-hmm.
It's fantastic.
It's incredibly done.
Yeah, really nicely done.
What?
Look at that! Look at the roads. Just what they're walking on. The panels. The first page panel on the bottom. The panel you just pointed out.
Yeah.
Like if you ever been on a dirt road in a farm, it's exactly that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Little details mean a lot.
Yep.
Open fire.
Blam, 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 blam.
Again, not over stereotyped. That's
no.
The racial aspect of that is excellent. It's like he's really caught that.
And at that time, they could have gone really cartoony on that.
Yeah.
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 like an Emperor Ming style, like
Yep.
mustache or
Oh no, far worse than that.
yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
They could have been far worse than that. Some of the imagery back then, but yeah, it's really done that. It's excellent.
It almost has a Dr. Zinn from Johnny Quest look to it, especially the face there.
The thing I like about this is that the soldiers aren't very, just beefcakes or complete
Yeah.
muscle like
The
superheroes.
normal
They're-
people, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what they all were. Just people.
You saw a lot of that with Kubert and his war
Yeah.
material.
Yeah.
Russ Heath did the same way.
Although Kubert had a way of making just about anyone look heroic.
Yeah.
That's why Kirby didn't draw Spider-Man, wasn't it? Because he was drew him like a god. So they got Steve Ditko to draw him like some kid, which is what he was.
Yeah. Needed that Ditko look to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially at the start. It was a smart thing for them to grow the character up a little bit when Ramita come on. Get him out of high school and into college.
Yeah.
Get me pictures of Spider-Man.
Exactly. And again, really crisp, beautiful inking here.
Jim's asking what year these were.
So we're 1952, I believe, 53.
So the Korean War was still on then.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Very much a topic of discussion. April 1952 is the cover date for the book. So it was probably done, the artwork here was probably done right at the very start of the year in 1952.
Wow.
So all of these books were all dated 3 months in advance in order to give them longer shelf life. Excuse me just for a second.
La 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 la. A bit of background music there. Oh, he's back.
I said just a second. You didn't. Have
You
to
did,
start
and you
singing.
were just a second.
Gonna chase everybody off. No, I'm just kidding. I was not into comics, but I did buy Unknown Soldier every once in a while. Yeah, it's not big into comics. Nice. Some great war stuff out there. War stories, the Nick Fury material, any of the Sergeant Rock, any of the DC war material from the 70s and 80s. Well worth your time.
Yeah.
Let me wipe my name out here to get rid of the show off more of that detail. There we go. Ain't it all right? Do we need another light on it? I think it looks all right.
No,
No.
it's all good. Don't touch
All right.
it.
I'm not touching it. Look at this
That's
line
when he
work here.
drops the desk
Beautifully
over
done.
or whatever.
That's right.
It completely kicks the whole thing over. Yeah.
Tripod falls. Yeah. Fire.
Wow.
More just delicate line work here. Look at that
Yeah.
brush work.
But again, look at the guns they're using. They're using a Luger, and he's got one of those. I don't know what they're called, but one of those Soviet guns with the little round magazine on. Brilliant, because that's what they used. They had the Russian, was it T-34 tanks and all that. It's a great attention to detail. I like that,
Isn't it? Yeah.
It's
Look at that
fantastic.
gun down the bottom right there.
Yeah, that is. I'll tell you what that is. That is an MG38 German machine gun, belt-fed machine gun. That one. I don't know what it's doing there in the jungle, but there you go.
Well, this is Devils in Baggy Pants now.
This is the great Wally Wood.
No.
Oh, it's a paratrooper, isn't it? Oh,
Paratrooper
wow.
hanging.
How good is that?
Look at how great the layouts are on that. Just a
Yeah.
couple of inset panels. Just beautiful detail here. It's all Wally Wood at the height of his ability.
Powers, yeah.
Just phenomenal. We'll take a look at some of the weird science stuff here, probably in the next year. That's
Wow.
that also just as beautiful and just as detailed, but very science fiction.
Yeah. Wow. And look at the weight as well. He's hanging on the harness. Look at the
Yeah.
weight of him.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Little dent in his helmet, even.
Yeah, probably a bullet hole or something.
Yeah. And again, such great detail.
Yeah.
Little dead
I like
German shoulder there. You can tell he's German. He's got the little swastikas.
Yeah, that's an American water bottle. That's not quite accurate there.
Whoops.
Right. See that. But then again, maybe he picked it up and drew a swastika on it.
There you go.
I like the way that Wally is. See the guy who's coming towards the paratrooper. He's got one of those netting things on his helmet, and the other guys don't. And when you see photographs, some do and some don't. You know, I think that's a really good
representation.
Yeah, just a great attention to detail. It's great.
Devils in baggy pants. There we are. Look at that.
Hollywood.
You want to learn how to ink in comics, kid? Just get a whole bunch of this stuff and study it.
That's
thin, thick here. Popping things forward, pulling.
Look at the last panel where he's kicked him out. Look, that tailplane's really close to that door, isn't it? Knocked his head off. No, on the other page where he's kicked him out the door.
Yeah.
Oh, here.
Yeah. Look where the tailplane is. He would have banged his head on that.
But that happened more than once.
Yeah. You had to be under, I think it was under 5. I think you had to be under 5'10" in the British paratroopers in the war, because my dad was 5'8".
Oh, right.
So that if you couldn't, I couldn't be a paratrooper in the war because I would have banged my head on the tailplane. Because I'm 6'1", so you know. But now they just jump out the back, don't they? You've seen them all just run and jump.
Yep. Glasgow Scott.
It's the same with the astronauts. You know, the Apollo program. That they were all tiny guys. Gus Grissom, who died in the fire, was only 5'6".
Really?
Yeah, they were tiny because it's all about payload.
Yeah, good lord.
And you couldn't be over. I couldn't be an Apollo astronaut because I'm over 6 foot. You had to be 6 foot and under.
The lighter, the better. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's all about payload. Yeah, so it's weight and everything, and the cramp capsule and all that kind of thing. Look at that ready.
How dense this is.
Yeah. That's why I love it in black and white.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Even though if Marie was coloring it, it was done by somebody who knew what they were doing. It still got in the way of the.
Look at that stream down the bottom on the right-hand page. Good lord.
What's the little touch of Zipiton or a duo shade back here? Probably duo shades. What it looks like. Looks like it was painted in.
Look at that panel there that you just pointed at. Look at that guy in the shadow on him there. The shadow on him. Isn't that fantastic?
Brilliant.
It is. Very cinematic. You can almost feel the movement on most of these panels.
Yeah.
This is wood, right?
Yes. Yeah. Wally wood. This little motorcycle detail here. It's a troop movement.
Yeah. See, above that motorcycle is one. I don't know what they call it, but there's one of the German sort of half-track vehicles over the top of it.
Here.
Troop carrier.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're called, but they're really big trucks. You know, they carry about 20 guys, I think. This is great. This is wonderful. Sorry, go ahead.
Isn't it just amazing? Just phenomenal stuff.
And they have one of the a couple of those in the A Bridge Too Far and one scene.
Yes. Mm-hmm. They also have one in. They're also in one in The Dirty Dozen. If you watch that, you'll see them. Fantastic vehicles.
There's a movie I haven't watched in a long time.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I've seen Dirty Dozen.
Oh, you should watch it. It's good.
Worth your time. Worth your time. If you have Max, the streaming service Max, they have a Turner Classic Movie streaming section there, and they run older movies all the time. And I know that's definitely one of them that they run, or that they have available pretty much all the time.
We had The Great Escape on at Christmas, but I had to.
There you go.
I had to not watch it for the millionth time, you know, because it's just brilliant.
It's Frank Sinatra, right?
No, Steve McQueen.
Steve
I just
McQueen.
saw
okay.
on,
okay. I was thinking of a different movie.
Frank Sinatra was Von Ryan's Express.
There we go. Yeah.
I saw
Also classic
today. My wife just picked out the news. You'll probably know this, Glenn. You know, Carry On Screaming.
Yes.
You know the little policeman who was always scared.
Yeah.
Apparently, he was a code creator in Colditz. So
right.
he was sending out code.
Oh, you mean? Oh, right. In the real Colditz.
In the real Colditz, he was sending out code in personal letters back home. And he was putting code in there. And he was actually one of the people that was creating. He was an artist as well, apparently. And he was creating fake IDs and stuff for the people that got away.
Oh, brilliant.
And he got away, and he was actually caught. He was found by one of Hitler Youth. And he said, "I'll never work with kids again." and apparently that's just come out because he died a little while ago. So all that time he came home after being in Colditz, came home after being a prisoner of war and serving his country, came home, became an actor, and played cowards for the rest of his life.
Oh wow!
And yet, look at what he did.
Yeah.
Just I was saying to my wife this morning, the fact that he did the right thing. He never said anything about it because it was a secret. It was a military secret. Yeah. It's just come out today. Apparently.
Well, he should have written a book and made a load of money.
But he did the right thing. Do you know what I mean?
He did.
He was. What a guy! What a fantastic story that is.
Yeah.
Wow.
Saw a quick video about. I think the actor's name is James Russell. It was Russell something, but he played the professor on Gilligan's Island.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And apparently he was a major shit kicker back in World War II. Just crazy stuff that he did, and got all sorts of decorations. Absolutely never talked about it through the rest of his career.
Yeah.
And they asked, that when he passed, they asked Dawn Wells, the girl who was Mary Ann, about it, and she was stunned to find out that he had done all of this stuff and gotten all of this decoration in the war, because he never said nothing.
Well, this is a tenuous link, but my best friend's auntie, right, who died about 10 years ago, when she died, she was about 95, and when she died, it was revealed or somehow came out that she'd worked at, what's it called, Croxley Hall, where they did the code thing.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She worked there. She could speak 7 languages.
Good Lord.
French, German, Italian, Dutch, and she used to be pretend to be like a German guy talking to the German. Do you understand what I mean? And put in false stuff in. They break their radio code or whatever it is, and she'd speak to them. And but nobody knew till she died.
But she knew.
But
she knew all the important languages to make
amazing...
her valuable. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
So many people did so many amazing things on all sides in that context.
Yeah.
Ordinary people. That's
the
story of it.
Yeah.
What's that guy, that actor guy called Todd? Is it Richard Todd? He's a British. Yeah, he's in A Bridge Too Far. Not Bridge Too Far. The Longest Day. He's in The Longest Day, and he plays a captain when at Pegasus Bridge, which was near where my dad landed, right when the British airborne took the bridge, and he played a captain in the film, and he was there in the war as a private. So he was playing his commanding officer.
Good Lord!
I mean, do you know what I mean?
That's
amazing.
Yeah,
but anyway,
why is his face so dark?
Well, there in the middle panel.
Here.
Yeah.
He actually looks African American.
I'm not sure.
He looks like.
They
did that on EC a couple of times in a couple of places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just the lighting.
But that's wrong because they wouldn't have mixed units at that point.
No.
Oh.
And you look down the bottom right hand side. That's his face, but it's not as dark.
Yeah.
No.
I think it's just the lighting.
It's just okay. It kind of
weird.
Black there and there.
Yeah, but the guy behind him has got a white face.
Light. Very much so. Yeah.
That's really
kind
weird.
Of a sharp contrast.
Well,
newbie hero of the piece, you know.
That's where Kirby came up with the Black Panthers, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because of a unit he encountered in the war that was all black guys, and they
Big
were called the
tank
Black.
unit.
Yeah, and they got called the Black Panthers, and then stuck in his head, I suppose, and he came up with it 20 years later. Nothing to do with the political guys.
No.
That came afterwards, actually.
Yeah. They probably got it off Jack.
I'm not sure. Little dual shade work here.
Yeah,
it looks
look at those open panels as well.
Wonderful stuff. Yeah.
Look
at that destruction.
Every Wallywood strip is an education, isn't it?
Isn't it?
Definitely is. That's why it's so much fun to look at this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he seems to adapt his style for what he's doing. I know that's something you'd expect to do, but you look at some of his science fiction stuff, and it looks different to this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great stuff. Who's next? It's a text piece.
Yay.
Vault of Horror ad.
Horror.
Real early on. So you can tell it's not a very horrific cover, just werewolf. Also an ad for picture stories from the Bible.
What's that? I used to be a werewolf, but I'm all right now.
That joke incoming.
Bolt single action Army revolver. The great Jack Davis here.
I was about to say that. Wow. Look at that. Now you're talking about thick lines. Look at his shirt.
Yeah.
Under the revolver barrel.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
No messing.
That's the kind of line that Don Heck does on Kirby. It's like a really confident line. You've got to be confident to do that shoulder thickness. Oh, it's just brilliant.
But I think that's what it comes down to. That's why they were quick. They were so confident.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they knew what they were doing. They weren't necessarily confident that they were the best. They were just confident in their own abilities.
Yeah,
yeah,
and it shows. And that's why they could do it at speed. And you only get that by doing it again and again and again and again all the time.
Look at this. A gun is like a woman. No one should trust a woman. It's brilliant, isn't it? Misogyny rules. He's probably right, but
6 bullets for 6 men. I wonder where 5 of these bullets will wind up.
Look at the size of those.
That gun. Anybody'd think it were a woman. Get up, bro. Gun is like a woman. Pop. No one should trust a woman or turn their back on a gun. Shoots him in the back.
God, what a scumbag. Shooting him in the back. They've got some lovely heels on those.
I'm going to say, we can tell it's Jack Davis because we're on just the soles of the shoes already.
Yeah, already, yeah.
It only took him 4 panels to get there.
There's some lovely Cubans there.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice Levi's he's got on as well.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah.
I'll have those. Thank you very much.
What I like about the gun in the first couple panels there, it looks like you could just beat the guy to death with it.
Yeah. Save a bullet, yeah.
It's solid, all right, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. And again, on that last panel there, where it's above Blam, his hand in black.
Yeah.
Fantastic, isn't it?
Nice touch.
Brilliant. You can tell it's really sunny, can't you? Like Arizona somewhere, you know.
Mm.
Great overhead shot here.
Look at that perspective where he's running out the door with the gun behind him.
Yes. Yeah.
That's great.
Is that on the previous page on the third panel? Is that Jack Kirby at that table with that cigar? Can you see? It's Jack Kirby, isn't it?
Kind of looks like it.
Makes you wonder if any of the other people playing poker are other people.
Yeah. That gun there is fantastic, isn't it?
Full house beats a flush, stranger. Your peacemaker's mine. Better luck next time.
Get back, you gringos. Dum Dum Dugan in the doorway.
Yeah.
Yeah, with his little hat. It's a great perspective, that gun, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can you imagine that, Rush? You get the instruction from the writer. It says, show the back view of him running out the door, but we need to see the gun.
Yeah.
You think, oh God, what's going on?
Here we go again. There isn't an army in front of him as well, is there?
Yeah.
It's my favorite things to commissioning an artist, and you talk about like you need an army in the back. And they're like, oh God.
Yeah. Just lots of circles.
Just draw the heads.
Lots of heads. That'll do. Oh, he shot the fat guy.
Blam.
Is the gun haunted or something? Is it supposed to be that the gun's just...
I think it's just showing the gun's life, isn't it? And different people picking it up type of thing.
I was going to say, I think the gun's the main character in the story.
I was about to say the gun's the character, isn't it?
Yeah. That's a great last panel. After he shot him there, the perspective on the gun there.
Yeah.
On the previous page, that's fantastic, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
Jim's saying he loved when guns are drawn nicely.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. I have shot my brother. He's dead. I must vamos.
I must vamos. As if he'd say that, yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing, everything else in perfect English. I'll put vamos at the end.
I know many artists aren't into guns, so sometimes they don't put as much effort into them as I like. I suppose the same can be said for about anything, cars, etc. Yep.
I mean, there is no excuse for not referencing things properly these days.
No.
That doesn't mean,
especially nowadays.
Yeah, that doesn't mean that you have to draw every detail. It just means that you have to get it to look right. So some people will have a style where they don't have huge amounts of detail in it. It's all just flow and an impression.
I think,
and as long as you've got the shape right, I think that's what's the most important. Outside of that, if you've got a style like this, then you've got to draw things correctly, haven't you?
Well, when I drew that illustrated book about my dad, in the war, a paratrooper in the war, I sort of already knew a bit about those type of weapons anyway from reading and all that kind of thing. But when I researched them properly, and it's a strange thing. You'll know what I mean because you're an artist, you're all artists. You'll know what I mean because I was finding out things like an MG42 German machine gun has a 1,500 round rate, a minute. Now, I didn't draw that anyway, and I didn't say that anyway. But when you're drawing those things, all that I think goes into the drawing.
Yeah, it's not just the research of what it looks like, but what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because when I write characters for other books, I always write a bio of the character, but I don't always put everything in the book.
No,
but it helps when you're writing because what you've written about him, and if you can't change it. You can't suddenly have him having gone to university if he didn't before you started. Do you understand what I mean? And it helps you write. It forms your character.
Mm-hmm.
So if you do your research on your weapons, it will come out like this, and it's real, and I think it's vital, like you're saying about the doing the research and everything. You've got to do it. Got to take the time.
Quick silhouette in the background. Little burro. Guy in a burro.
Burro being a donkey, right?
Yeah, burro. Yeah,
burro. We get the contrast of Jack Davis and Harvey Kurtzman.
Wow.
Pirate Gold.
One bullet for bang.
What a way to end a story.
Yeah. They're very powerful, these stories, aren't they?
And bullet for Mitt. Boop. Yep.
Wow, look at that. Bang.
A lot of great stuff.
And then,
Just
like you say, he goes straight into Harvey Kurtzman with that thick brush he uses. He just whacks it in, doesn't he? It's absolutely outstanding, isn't it?
And it's real interesting to see him covering serious stories in this kind of style, because for Mad and that, he's so loose, but still just as solid. Very comedic.
Look at that.
Yeah.
The gentleman in the one panel there at the second page at the bottom. The middle.
Yeah.
This is the second page.
Down here?
Yeah, right
that
there.
guy,
I didn't do nothing.
I've known a couple dudes that look like that guy.
Easy does it. Captain Tom Chu was your first mate. Took command when you vanished at sea last month. Went back to Baratara yesterday with the second mate and the bosun, whatever that is. Baratara, in the swampland at the mouth of the Mississippi. I'm beginning to remember. So Thomas too left yesterday, and the second mate was Sharp, Calico Jack Sharp, and Ben Avery, the boatsman. Ho ho! Am I right, mate? That you are, sir.
Isn't the bosun the guy who works the steering wheel on a boat?
Yeah.
Boatswain or a boatswain or boatswain is
It's pronounced bosun.
Bosun.
Yeah.
Deck boss.
Yeah. It's like the was it called the forecastle on? It's called the forecastle, isn't it? It's where the captain is in the cabin. What do they call it? The forecastle or something? Forecastle. Galveston. It should have said Galveston or Galveston, shouldn't it?
Love those pirate faces with that hat and the pipe.
Yeah.
No,
Whack.
in the cloud in a panel 4.
Oh, here. Yeah.
But look at that face with the pipe and the flat hat. The way the lighting is on that, and the way he does the double chin.
Yeah.
But he does it really thick lines. It just bloody works.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
It makes me wonder if the gentleman we were talking about earlier in the middle panel on the bottom there is Irish.
Yeah. Might be.
It looks like a step two on some, doesn't it, Russ?
Which one?
The guy that one.
That one. Yeah, that final panel could be you dirty old man. Oh, Arnold.
Yeah. You dirty old man.
Dirty old man. The Americans won't understand us.
No.
Nope.
Bloody
Harold.
Yeah.
You're not seeing step two on YouTube.
Why would they? If they did watch it, they'd be like, "What the hell is this?"
Well, they watch Doctor Who and stuff like that. They can work that out.
Yeah, not quite the same.
Till death us do part.
I think I said a couple of times I started watching Coronation Street on a regular basis, and it took me the longest time to figure out what a boot was.
A what? A boot?
Yeah.
A boot.
They stuffed the guy in a boot. I says, how can you fit him into a shoe?
A boot.
And why is a guy on the street reference to every time you point at somebody's ass? You know, you call him a bum. That's
separated by common language.
Yeah, pretty much.
Separated by the correct use of a common language.
Well, it took me a good couple of weeks just to get used to everybody's accent. So, what? I know there's stuff going on here, and you're picking it up.
I've been to America a few times, but the things that happen. I was in a shop talking to someone, and I don't think I have a particular accent, and she couldn't understand me.
Mm-hmm.
And she was talking like it's a slight southern accent to her, but nothing thick. And so she was talking English. I could completely understand what she's saying.
Yeah.
And I'm talking to her, and she's like, "I'm sorry, sir, I can't understand what you're saying." I'm like, oh, what the hell is this?
At least she apologized.
She did. She was very nice.
I was in New York, and I was in this little bagel shop, and I used to go in every day, and I was talking to this woman, and I always try and fit in. You see, I don't know a lot of languages, but I know a bit of Spanish, and she looked Spanish. So I was talking to her in Spanish, and she was just looking at me, and I thought, oh, it's just my Spanish is no good. And after 3 days, I was trying to speak to her in Spanish and then having to point what I wanted. Her husband came in the back, and they were Indian.
No.
So an Englishman speaking Spanish to an Indian in New York.
Completely misunderstood the situation.
Well, she looked like she was Mexican, you know.
Yeah.
She's looking at me like I've got 3 heads when I'm talking. You know?
But I'm not surprised. Like, speak English, you fool.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just tell me
I
what
was
you
going to
want.
say, you do that in New York, you'd get yelled at and told to speak in English. Yeah. Just want to point out this panel here and how beautifully inked it is.
Yeah.
The little fine line work in the background. The knowing to do the silhouette on the boat here with the detail in front with those large brush lines sitting there, just wonderfully done.
Lovely.
Yeah, there's a comic there.
And that
Yeah.
that one but last panel as well, where he's out in the darkness.
Yeah.
Look how
Yeah.
light they are.
Great. Yeah.
Like ghouls, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, like ghosts.
Looks almost like a Scooby-Doo episode or something. Sort of painted phosphorus paint.
That top right, where he's got his head sunk into his jacket.
Yeah.
Oh no! Now your pistol's discharged, and you haven't dropped me. You'll never have time to reload me, boys.
Watch
Winged him in the shoulder. That's what he gets for ducking into his coat.
Perfam. Got that up. Chop.
Chop. Chop. Karate chop.
Chop.
Judo chop.
Clang. Oh.
It's the end of that one, I guess.
Oh no, it's gonna kill Aunt May.
That last panel is also great too. With the expression.
Talking of that, I watched Spider-Man No Way Home the other day for the first time. I hadn't seen it.
I've not seen it yet.
It was a film based on member berries, but it was done like it was just all Easter egg. That's all it was.
Right.
It was all just like, look at this. This is from another film we did, a better film that we did. But even
that's the one with Mysterio in it, right?
It's no. It's the one with all 3 Spider-Men in it with Tobey Maguire.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was all nostalgia.
Yeah, it was all completely nostalgia from about films that were far better than this film. However, saying that, it was put together really well and was actually quite enjoyable. So yeah, it was all right. It's worth a watch. Definitely.
Were they all despite? Was Tobey Maguire actually in it, or was it?
Yes.
Oh,
he
yeah.
was in it. He wasn't just that was the good thing about it, is they weren't just cameos.
Right.
They were built into the story, and then they all worked together at the end to resolve the problem.
They take seconds to compare notes. A classic line. That stuff comes out of your wrist.
Yeah, because that's for a long time there are people, especially the video game community, thought that was how it worked.
Yeah.
But he's the only Spider-Man ever for that to have happened to, and they just did it because that was the way they wanted the film to be. He always had cartridges, but it was really good. It was really funny, and it was it was all member berries. It was a bit too long at the start. It took an hour to get anywhere, and it could have done it in half an hour.
Yep.
But it was definitely worth a watch, and it was good fun.
So why were the 3 of them then?
Oh, big multiverse stuff,
Oh.
shenanigans.
Like Doctor Who, then splitting them in two.
Yeah, I suppose so. You could do that. It was a tri-regeneration.
Actually, done
but,
a little bit
yeah.
better than Doctor Who was.
I think it's done better than that. Yeah.
Spider-Man asked Doctor Strange for a favor to make everybody forget who he was in real life.
The spell went tits up. So
Strange starts making the spell, and Peter keeps adding more stuff, and then eventually it just breaks the multiverse, and all the Spider-Man come in.
But it ends. It does end well with him effectively being the Spider-Man that he's supposed to be, which is effectively nobody knows who he is. Yeah. And Spider-Man is like half loved and half hated by the population of the city, which is how Spider-Man was in the comics. So they did a fair amount of fan service, and they did some justice to some of the aspects of the comics. So it was good. I haven't dared watch any of the other tripe that MCU have been serving up since Endgame. So my son has watched a few bits and bobs and has said they're very average.
Yeah.
So I can't be bothered, really.
I like looks like Lurch, doesn't he, with his shoulders up again?
Yeah. He does there, doesn't he? Yeah.
Look at that.
You rang, madam.
Thank you, Mr. Two. Thank you.
Thank you.
Again, we have another panel at the bottom on the first page, middle, where he's just leaning right into a guy.
Yeah.
Sounds like Jean-Luc Picard in A Christmas Carol. I can't remember his real name.
Patrick Stewart.
Stewart. It was in A Christmas Carol, and also he was in the whale story, Moby Dick. But he played the same person.
Yeah.
Thank you. He'd say thank you.
Like Dustin Hoffman does.
Yeah, that's the one.
It's kind of funny because one of the movies with Picard in it, or the character Patrick Stewart, he references Moby Dick in the...
Yeah, he does. Yeah. But he did a lot of that. I don't know if you've watched Star Trek: The Next Generation at all, but it was quite a seminal series. I mean, they would refer to literature quite a lot. And that first film where Captain Kirk died, there was a lot of literature references. And then right at the start when they were on the boat, somebody was getting promoted or whatever. It was quite seminal, to be honest.
Well, Next Generation was just a great series.
Started Trek 2. Spock gives Kirk a book for his birthday.
Yeah. There's a lot. I mean, effectively, you look at Star Wars. Star Wars was fairy tales in space, and Star Trek is Shakespeare in space. That's about it, really.
One of my favorite lines from that, like the whole episodes, is the one where they find out one of the I guess the Starfleet members is like part Romulan, and they talk about like where the change is all irrevocably or whatever he talks about, like as soon as somebody's censored and all that stuff. It's a famous speech in the thing. I'd have to pull it up because I don't remember.
Oh, right,
yeah.
Is that in the series or in the films?
No, it's in the series.
Right.
They had a great episode in the series where they found out they were all genetically connected.
Oh yeah, well that's basically there was an ancient species.
They all tie back to it.
Seeded the galaxy, which is why they're all bipedal and all look roughly human. So it actually gave a little bit of retrofitting backstory to the whole Star Trek mythos. Because why does everybody look similar? Why are we all, this shouldn't be right? Well, it's because this ancient species seeded the Milky Way. And so that's why we have all these species that, are bipedal.
The best one I saw was, that I can remember, it was when there was people on a planet and they'd banned space flight and all this kind of stuff. And and then these aliens were coming, and the aliens were Picard and Riker.
Yeah.
Remember that one?
I like the original series with the flying pancakes. The flying pancakes was one of my favourite episodes, and it was just like woo, and they'd come right after you, and the pancake could slap on the back of your head, and it would control you.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Sounds like the
little
outer
piece
limit.
of plastic would go flying on a string. Yeah,
Presumably, it would control you to go find the lemon and the sugar, so
exactly.
that you could continue your quest as a pancake.
Yeah.
But I used to love the old series. They had some great backdrop paintings in those episodes.
Yes,
Really
matte
good
paintings,
stuff.
beautiful.
Yeah, matte paintings, beautiful stuff. Yeah,
absolutely amazing.
I found
A few hacks here on the top of the page.
hack. Thank ye. Oh, but you got taken by the quicksand. That's a quick end.
Yep.
I haven't got any more pages. I forgot.
So I found the quote here from that one episode. I think it's actually kind of what I'm talking. If you guys want to hear it here, it's with the first link, the chain is forged, the first speech censored, the first thought forbidden, the first freedom denied, changes us all irrevocably. If I could ever pronounce that word.
There are 5 lights, not 4 or whatever it is. That particular prose there should be said out loud in every school in every country across the world every morning.
Yeah.
Well, you can't do that. Somebody be offended.
Yeah, screw it.
Absolutely. Yep. Trigger somebody.
Like freedom of speech isn't, in my view, is an absolute. The only way to get rid of bad ideas is to see them out in the open so that you can argue against them.
Yep. That's the whole ideal behind freedom of speech.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. So it's okay for people to be hideous because then you can see who they are.
You really have to know where the stupid people are. Yeah.
And then you can try and change their minds.
I can't remember what it was, but yesterday I watched something where somebody said this was to do with Congress and to do with Parliament and all the where those people hang out. What they should do, instead of standing up and ridiculing the other person, taking the piss and saying they messed it up, they should have to. So Labour should have to stand up and say what the Conservatives had done that was right.
Yeah, both sides. Yeah,
and then the Conservatives would have to stand up and say what Labour had done right.
Yeah.
And then what you're left with is what you have to fix.
Exactly.
Right? Instead of just bitching and ridiculing.
And you've got continuity on it as well.
Yeah. And behaving like you're 12, in the schoolyard, because that's what they're like, isn't it?
They're all pathetic.
Look at that. That is amazing.
Crossfire. Get this Jeep out of here.
I tell you what, the colour has actually helped that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Doesn't it? That explosion's fantastic.
Yep.
And the fear in those guys' eyes as well.
Get this Jeep out of here. We're in a crossfire.
The road's been mined. It's a guerrilla ambush.
Like nobody noticed.
Someone's going to start singing Sabotage soon.
Yeah, exactly. Again, just the brushwork, just blobs sitting here. Lines on that brush.
Yeah,
that's probably actually. Do you remember? Solid. Actually, Americans probably won't know that because it probably didn't come out in America. Sabotage. You remember that one? Sabotage? No, Camouflage. That's it. Camouflage.
The Beastie Boys did Sabotage.
No, Camouflage. This was back in the 70s. Camouflage was a ghostly soldier that saved someone who was on a raid.
Or as Bugs Bunny would call it, camouflagey.
Camouflagey.
Yeah. Ambush.
Oof.
Great Jack Davis here.
There you go. Look at that. This did. For no other reason than the black and white and the way that it's presented. Mm-hmm. It always hits me about 2000 AD.
Yeah.
Just the way that they did it as well. It really was a continual, even though it was subversive in its nature.
Yeah, just a bit.
The actual artwork and the presentation of the comic was very much a continuation of all this fantastic stuff from 10, 20 years earlier.
Look at this! Look at the guy at the bottom and sitting in the Jeep. His hand is bigger, not only bigger than his head, it's bigger than his head with his helmet on. This guy.
The guy with your hand
To the
flopping over the.
To the right. Look at his hands, sides of his
Oh, yes,
hands.
massive. This man has massive hands.
We all know what that means. Big gloves.
It means you get more coverage in the shower.
Means big gloves. That's what it
Don't
means.
have to spend quite so long washing your back.
Yeah, it means you're not scared of having a shower after gym.
Wonderful feathering work here.
Yeah, look at
beautiful.
that.
And look at the knuckles on the hand as well.
Yeah.
He's tightly.
Just
gripped
amazingly
that.
done.
Yeah.
And the farther back you go, the thinner the lines in order to drop
Lovely,
everything back.
lovely,
Your main
lovely,
focus
lovely.
is here. Yeah.
Lovely on you.
It's greatly done.
That Jeep's a bit small, though, isn't it? For the size
Which
of
one?
the men. The one at the
Oh,
panel
they're all-
2.
They're all piled in. It's a bit like a clown car.
They're all
Oh,
six. They're all
the
6'7". That's all. Wow.
How'd you get 4 elephants in a mini? 2 in the front, 2 in the back.
Blam.
More great inking work here.
Oh, it's all gorgeous, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, you're right. It's like, what was that? Was it 2008? Darky's Mob. Remember Darky's Mob?
No.
I think that might have been in Tiger or something like that. But this similar kind of. I know this is Jack Davis, but the artwork was similar. I'll send you some samples of it. I'll show you.
I remember they did that vampire one. Vampires in the Second World War or something.
Yes.
That was Carlos Esquerra, I think.
Yeah,
and
something.
that was great. That one.
I got that
good.
collected.
Yeah.
A few years back. Yeah, about vampires in the Second World War.
Can't remember what it was called.
That was printed after I stopped reading the title.
I can't remember what it was called, but that was quite good.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Come on. Come on, Lucky.
Yeah. He's got 2 in the head, 3 in the back, and 2 in his ass, hasn't he?
Oh, God.
Dear.
Lucky to go out quickly, I guess.
Yeah.
That Captain Boyle is hit. Oh, no, I guess Lucky survived. It was Captain Boyle that took the hit.
Oh.
Attaboy, Lucky, you made it, pretty boy. Keep your head down.
Look at that. At the top there, it says, Captain, it's Krause. He's smashed under the Jeep. Smash flat.
What about pancakes?
Yeah. Where's the lemon? Oh, dear.
Nice tire, though.
Yeah.
Look at the underside of the Jeep there on panel 7.
Yeah.
On the first page. Now there he's not actually there. Yeah, there. That's impressionism. That is.
That's just blocks. Yeah.
It's just enough for you to believe that it's an engine. It's a prop shaft and
black squares.
Yeah. So he knows enough that there's a prop shaft, there's a differential, and all the rest of it, and how that works under there. And he's just like, flicked it in. Brilliant.
David says DS9's my favorite, and there's a great page in there. I don't know when he posted that. I think they're all great in this. Just
also, although that spare tire is a little bit small, the tires, on that panel,
yeah. I like the detail work on it, though.
Yeah, gorgeous.
Not easy to do.
Again, letting the white space do the work on those.
Yeah.
On those tires on the treads.
Yeah.
Oh, Dave's here. Hey, Dave. Genuine Comics in the house.
Hey, Dave. Good night. Good night, gents. Oh, greetings, gents.
Greetings.
Yeah. Nice to see you there, Dave. Thanks for joining us.
Dave's in Europe. Not the EU. Europe.
That's good continuity there where that guy gets hit and then you see him lying down in the road in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
But just the fabric and everything, it's beautiful.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And there's the bottom of the shoes again where the guy gets hit.
Oh, yeah.
You can't resist it, can he?
Right here, too.
Yep.
as often as possible. And now someone jumps on a grenade.
Oh dear. Right on his head. Bang. Look at that line around that. The second page, top left, the guy's helmet, the thick line again.
I'm surprised he put a panel on that at all. That bit where he's jumping towards the grenade.
What do you mean?
Well, I wouldn't have put the panel line round it at all.
Right, yeah, got
just
you,
left
got
it.
you.
Oh,
But
yeah.
then
Yep.
that's not really the style of the day, is it?
No.
Oof.
Could have finished off the helmet, left this wide open.
Yeah, you could
Yes,
have just popped
yeah.
pop the helmet into the panel above and pop the
Finished off the grenade there.
But it's just of the time. It's of its time and
Right.
of what he was doing at the time as well.
Yep.
And maybe even the the content, because it was war rather than superheroes or science fiction or whatever.
Yeah.
That it maybe wasn't appropriate to do that. I don't know what he thought there.
Don't let me down, Cupid doll. Don't let any grenades fall in this ditch. One of them does. He jumps.
David's asking if this was all brush and ink. I would imagine so.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
There were possibly some pens involved, some dip pens. Or
Yeah,
something
for the
like that.
for the
Yeah.
finer details, maybe.
Quickness of the line work here. Back in the background here. That's all a steady line. Yeah. A little smoke.
Schmoke.
Though you never know, it's Jack Davis, so he could probably handle a brush like a
Yeah.
surgeon would handle a scalpel.
Yeah.
Just constant steady line.
That bottom left panel where he's saying he's dead, on the left-hand side, the bottom panel, he says he's dead. Why do they keep pumping bullets into him when he's dead? That's they do that in Saving Private Ryan, don't they? When that guy runs, he gives him a message, and they keep shooting him to make sure that he's dead because he's got the message. They know he's running across with a message. Do you understand what I mean?
All right.
And
See? Yeah.
They're just making sure.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what they do in
Yeah.
Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
They know he's got a message, so they make sure he don't get the message across.
The good old double tap.
They decided they had enough. They run up over the top of the trench there. I'll show you who's ambushing who. Let's get him, Tex.
Nope.
Tex, where's Tex? Tex, where are you?
I think Tex was popping up over the hill here. They're taking out the enemy here.
Oh, is that the enemy on the other? Oh, okay.
The camera shifts. Yeah,
Yeah, because it's a different.
that's them shooting. They ain't gonna be ambushed.
Oof. Busted my carbine on your buddy's head. Ooh, bang.
Shot straight through.
Did Lucky survive to the end there or no?
I think so. Soldier, we heard firing. All these dead men. What happened here? I told him my Cupid doll would save me. I'm the only one alive. There's the Cupid doll with a
A
bullet.
bullet.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that. Look
I
at
have
that
my-
gladiator.
Cupid doll
Yeah.
inside my helmet.
You ever
this
watch
is-
films about gladiators?
Yeah.
You ever been in a man's changing room? You ever
could
think
you
about the
imagine-
Roman Empire?
There we are. Here are the pigs of the Roman Empire.
Oink.
It's just to go back. It's great the way the words are as violent as the action. He says, this guy said, it seems that bullet hit your helmet right where your good luck charm is tied. It went through the helmet, through your good luck charm, and through Pretty Boy's face.
Oh, dear.
Jesus.
Oh
Oh
dear.
dear, oh dear, oh dear.
That guy, that gladiator guy, he's looking at the camera. He's saying, "You're next,"
Yeah, you're next.
Yeah.
which is us, you know.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Severn and Elder again.
Yeah, superb.
Yeah.
That's great.
Now for a completely different time period. Here we go.
And a different style.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Walk.
It's a little bit more elder coming through on this, on the ink work.
Yes.
A little less Severin look to it.
Yeah, flatter
Great
camera
movie.
angles.
Yeah. I was thinking here especially, just really detail on that's amazing.
Look at that one panel there. He's just walk the sword. And Gladius, I guess.
Walk. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bunk. Lovely hair as well. Lovely curly hair.
Wow.
It's got a little Sir Laurence Olivier look there.
Mm.
Matt Black Gaming in the house. I don't feel entertained on that last page with the gladiator. Morning, all. Morning.
Are you not entertained?
For what? Come, Brenus, my wise slave, follow me closely with the wine bearer. Yeah.
I could play that guy. Wine to me is like lifeblood.
Glug,
Bring
glug,
me more
glug,
wine.
glug, 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 glug.
Bring me more wine. Again, the contrast in the ink, thin lines, thick. Roll.
Look at that, with it holding the line there in that bottom panel. That's great.
A little bit of chaos working here.
Yeah.
Also nice.
Roll.
Talk about drawing armies.
Yeah.
This is more like a storybook.
Yeah.
Gone for the words and pictures rather than words in pictures.
Look at the first panel on the first page there, and just the top of the hill.
Yeah. Like
Just
a Zulu.
Yeah.
Zulu when they all
Sticks.
turn up at the end. Fantastic. That was the. I always think that's like, you know, the archers and the guys with the spears. It's like artillery in those days, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah. Dave says, did they use a bullpen of inkers, backgrounds, etc.? Nope. These are all one or two guys at work. Yeah. They would go through and write the story. They would take the board and letter the story. Then Kurtzman would send a rough set of thumbnails along with the story to the penciler, who would pencil it, send it back, and then they'd send it to in this case, they would send it to the inker. This is John Severin pencils and Bill Elder inking. But most of the time, it was all one-man show. Once you got the art board with the lettering on it and the instructions on what to draw, you sat there and drew it and sent it back in. Just gorgeous inking. Yep. That's why we like looking at this Facebook user. This is the best from the best at this point. This is 1950s. Gaines decided he was going to start printing comics that he wanted to read. So you got Tales from the Crypt, Two-Fisted Tales, Mad, Frontline Combat, Weird Science Fantasy, all sorts of great stuff. It says 11 by 17. No, I think this was done 2 up at this point. They're still drawing double size, which would make it probably closer to, I would think maybe 24 by 14.
Yeah,
I would say pretty close to that. Matt Black says, I have a friend who really hates living in the center of the USA. She says she's in constant state of Missouri. Yes. There you go.
Brilliant.
That's hilarious. I think one of the earlier episodes we did, I'm not sure if it was Sunday Funnies or Comics by Night, we did, was it Starhawks or the Black something or other. The one with the sci-fi savior dude with the mark on him or whatever, right? Later
Black
on,
Mark.
Black
Yeah.
Mark, yeah. And we talked about like pilums and stuff like that, or the spears that they would throw at the enemy, the javelins, right? You can see that with the Roman soldiers. And I looked it up after that just because I wasn't as familiar with them. What they were used for was essentially to destroy the enemy's shields, so like the shield walls, things like that.
Mhm.
So the javelins were light and bendable, and so they were so like fragile that they would bend, so you couldn't throw them back, but they would also destroy the enemy's shield and weigh them down, so you couldn't use them anymore, and you couldn't really cut them off or like break them like like you can break off arrows and stuff like that because they're flexible. So were very difficult and just made the shield useless. And then you could charge in with cavalry or whatever else and just mow them down or cut them down much more easily.
Yeah.
Brilliant tactic and extremely devastating.
We were watching some footage from the Olympics in the 80s, and they were throwing javelins. And my kids were like, "What the hell is that all about?" And it's like now you've all got digital like lasers working out where everything lands. Back then, people were running towards where the javelin was going to land, and there's loads of people out there on the measuring, and there's these javelins everywhere. My kids are like, "What's going on?"
Had people out there watching the sky.
Yeah, and you see the guy running towards an area, and then the javelin would land about 6 inches from his foot, wouldn't it?
Yeah, he's like, "There it is."
It's like he was doing an audition for the what's it called?
Jackass.
The Omen. The Omen.
Oof.
It's just wow. These people running around and like health and safety didn't exist in the 80s.
No.
These kids today with their
anyway.
These kids today with their bubble.
Yeah, nobody knows what it's like to have a javelin chucked at you at the Olympics anymore.
Yeah.
So they have lawn darts that would do
That's
the
exactly what I was
same
about to bring up. Here, catch.
Oh dear. Yeah, catch this. Catch it with your chest. Oh, he's getting eaten by vultures.
Only a drunken fool like Theseus would take wine into the desert.
Obviously, his army was defeated, and he's just run away with a bottle of wine.
Wine in the boiling heat is like liquid fire in the throat.
At that! Look at where they've eaten through his center, his stomach on the last panel. Is it?
No, I think it's
That's his belt.
Oh, it's his belt. Right. I thought it was his rib cage.
That would be quite cool.
Yeah.
Still a little too early for that kind of drawing. That would have come later.
Intro.
The farther on we go, the more violent these stories become too. So there's some great Civil War issues in this that are just amazing. More Vault of Horror, more picture stories from the Bible. Now the Mermank's Run.
Oh, that sea! Look at that. Water.
Fantastic.
Hollywood kicking ass again.
Yeah.
Just great stuff. You'd stare at that for a few hours.
Yeah.
Wow.
Is this a true reflection of what the Romans were like? They tried to be as accurate as possible on these stories. That's why some of them are really great reads. And you don't see you always see Tales from the Crypt and the horror material being reprinted from this era, from EC, but you hardly ever see the war material done like this and reprinted. They did a big run on Two-Fisted Tales and also a large run on Frontline Combat, which pretty much focused on World War II and Korean War stories. Just amazing stuff. Go ahead. Sorry.
That guy in the center is the Tales from the Black Freighter.
Yeah.
And that's like the main panel is how Wally Wood's tuition on how to draw water using Kirby Crackle.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, 3 panels of water
Yeah,
and still make it look exciting and enticing.
and it looks rough as well. That sea,
Yeah.
doesn't it? Like
Yeah,
it's
it does,
really
yeah.
Little,
crazy. You know, you see these films.
little scratch board here. It looks like
Yeah.
they scratched out the solid black
John Romita used to do that a lot, didn't he?
Yeah.
In Spider-Man.
just to show the rain here.
Spider-Man.
Look at that! Wow! Look at that!
Oh, there's some ink on those pages, isn't there?
Damn.
God,
Wow!
Some great
look at the
stuff.
lighting on that guy's face, bottom left. Oh,
Special guest appearance by Frank Frazetta.
Yeah, yeah.
He's back
And
again for that other story.
He
And
is
the-
everywhere.
And the guy on the bottom left is Boris Karloff.
Right here.
Down there, bottom left,
Yeah.
where your hand is, it's Boris
Yeah,
Karloff.
he is a bit
Yeah.
Boris Karloff, isn't it?
Wow! Look at that. It's like Wally was enjoying drawing the sea, so he stuck in a few more panels in.
Yeah.
Damn.
Don't see detail like that in modern comics, do you?
No.
Nobody's got
Every
the
once in a
time,
while,
I
from
guess.
a crowdfunding campaign, you'll get stuff that's that well done.
In all fairness, nobody
It's just
pays
Mass-
enough in mainstream comics for you to do that kind of stuff.
too true. Too true.
Unless, of course, you happen to be Alex Ross.
Yeah, I was thinking the same, Glenn. You wouldn't want to be in those waters. Yeah.
Yep.
The absolute master at work. Absolutely. Yep. HR says hello. Hello, HR. Hope you're doing
Hello.
well. Thanks for joining us, folks. Make sure you hit that like button. It only takes you a second. Hit that like button if you're enjoying this program. We love having you here. But every little bit of activity on the algorithm goes to help us. So make sure
You
you
can
do that.
also
Yeah,
Wherever,
we want
wherever you're
everyone
watching us from.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we want everyone to see the stuff that we're showing
Absolutely.
because it's important. It's important that people see what comics are really about.
Great,
So-
great sequential art by some of the masters.
like and share. Sharing is
and share.
important too, because it gets more audience or more people looking at the stuff.
Please do. Yes.
Yeah, all those kids that are enjoying manga at the moment, they need to see this kind of stuff as well.
Yeah, they sure do. Yep.
People are writing off, comics entirely. Like I remember reading all kinds of posts on social media where they're just like, comics, I'm just going to read manga. And then you're like, well, pick up some EC books or something, broaden your horizons.
That's why we try to say at the end of every episode, go visit your local retailer. They can use the business to start with, but there's so much great stuff they've had sitting in boxes for years that nobody has seen or discovered. Or
I have an
locally. It's
issue.
just all sitting there waiting to go.
Yeah, I have an issue with saying comics are dying, but people are reading manga. Manga are comics. They're
That's
just a
very-
different format of comic.
Okay.
That's all.
Yep.
Comics are not superhero comics from America. The superhero comic from America is a definitive genre and mythos, which is very specific to America and is an art form in itself. But comics are everywhere, and they should be treated as such. Not from the industry business perspective. You can't turn around and say, "Oh, we're doing really well in the States because manga's doing really well." That's rubbish. Utter rubbish. Do
that's a
better, make better comics, okay?
Absolutely.
But manga are comics. They're just Japanese comics in the same way that we have European comics. Okay, comics are out there and they're loved by a lot of people, a lot of younger people as well. It's not just an older person's game.
It's just sequential art, isn't it?
Sequential art, yeah.
And one of the things I really find fascinating about the history of this, I'm still going to finish that book, or at least get back working on it this year. Everything feeds off of the previous thing.
Yeah,
Manga wouldn't have existed if American comics didn't exist.
Yeah.
That wouldn't have existed if comic strips never existed. Comic strips exist because editorial cartoons exist. Editorial cartoons exist really because early on you couldn't print photographs.
Shock. Perhaps superhero comics should go back to being superhero comics, and maybe
Amen.
people will buy them for being superhero comics.
Yep.
Okay, and then maybe, just maybe, the corporate comics creators, the big companies, will have the balls to actually create other stuff, slice of life comics. I don't care, like gay love comics, whatever it might be, comics for everyone. Everyone should have comics, but that doesn't mean that every comic is for everybody. Okay. And create superhero comics, create slice of life, be imaginative, be creative, do stuff. But the trouble is, these big corporates, they're all scared. It's all about money, and they don't give a stuff about comics.
No,
that's why indie comics are so important.
Really all about message and politics anymore up there. That's one of the biggest problem with corporate comics. No balls.
Yeah, it's the same with, you can see it across entertainment with films as well. Why are there so many reboots? Why are there so many remakes? Because nobody's got any balls. Nobody's got any real love to do something new. And that's why independent studios, independent comics, independent creators, writers, artists, that's where all the great stuff is.
And you go back on this material, really spearheaded by Bill Gaines, whose dad, MC Gaines, happens to die in a tragic boating accident and leaves his his publishing company to his son, who decided he wanted to start making comics. He wanted to read.
Yeah.
Instead of just trying to cater to the young kids. So he grows the art form up. But it would have never existed if MC hadn't really started EC Comics off of the money he made by selling his shares in national periodicals. And MC was one of the people up there that really screwed over Siegel and Schuster out of Superman.
Yeah.
And MC especially was there at the editorial offices when Moulton come in with Wonder Woman and decided that they needed to print that book.
Yeah, the history is so complex.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah, I love it. Those Mankaka love American comics and European books. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Comics. Yes, sir. Comics. I agree. All comics. Yep.
Yeah,
I would like to interject and say that wasn't my comment. It was somebody else's.
No. I know Whiskey. I know. I know. I was just me.
Jeremy Burt's in the house. Jeremy, glad you're here, buddy.
Yeah,
nice to see you around.
I think it's important that we state as often as possible, wherever possible, just how important sequential art is as an art form.
Oh yeah.
It's just and it's easy to get lost in arguments over the content instead of just focusing on making great stuff.
Absolutely.
Look at that, that page there, the bottom, the other page, the last panel on the previous, that one. Do you think something? Look at the black on his shoulder. Do you think something else was there? Yeah. It's just weird.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just odd.
And the way he hasn't finished the black all the way down to the bottom.
Yeah.
Probably felt he didn't need to.
He probably just like forgot.
Yeah.
I've done that. I've been filling in one bit and I've gone to another bit and then the page is done. It's like, oh no, I missed that bit out.
Oops.
Great lighting here. A little torch there.
That light in the distance is great, isn't it?
Yeah.
And again, the panel above that, the lighting on that guy's face.
Yeah. Just smears.
Yeah.
Get up close to this. It just see.
Right.
Put that brush. Boom, 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 boom. Done. Yep.
Do you know? It looks to me. I mean, I don't know whether this is right, but those panels, especially that one you just showed there with the ink in with the old guy, they remind me. And I'm not saying this is what happened, but they remind me of the terrific comic in the '60s when they got Barry Smith, who was 16 at the time, to continue the panels because the panels didn't fit the shape. And it looks like somebody else has done that.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah, just like filled in. Yeah, it could be.
I don't know. I honestly think this is probably an artistic choice here. He didn't.
Yeah.
to fill
Yeah,
everything.
he's
And the
breaking
same
it up.
thing here. That the lighting here is so intense, everything is stark.
Yeah, it just looks. I'll go with that. You're probably right, but to me it looks like a different hand, like
Yeah.
maybe a different hand.
Yeah, I could see it. Then we get
Oh,
all
no.
of this delicate detail here.
He's smoking. Is there a U-boat going to get him? Little light 2 miles away. That's a U-boat's going to get him now. You watch.
Infinitesimal spark of light from 2 miles away, and what did it matter?
Here we go. I've never seen this before. Told you, U-boat. Look,
U-boat,
Look at that.
he's seen the light, so
Boom.
to speak. Yeah,
Damn.
Look at that water again.
it's rough, isn't
Ah,
it? You don't
but
want
look
to
at
be
the-
there.
Look at
Just
the
amazing.
reflections. Look at the
Yeah.
on that right-hand top panel. Good
Yeah.
God. You can feel the water moving, can't you? That's
Just beautiful. Look at that.
oh, what an explosion.
There's no surviving that.
Mm.
You're either going to drown or freeze to death or burn to death. Or...
Yeah, if you get in that water, you've got about 10 minutes, haven't you? If you're lucky.
It depends which bracelet you've got on.
Yeah.
If you've got the red rubber bracelet on, you've got to get out in 10 minutes. If you've got the blue rubber bracelet on, you can stay in for another half an hour.
With all the oil.
Sorry, that's a very English reference.
Yeah. Matt Black says, my late dad had these reprints of cards that were from the 50s and 60s, I think, where aliens came down to Earth and raped women and blew holes in people's chests. Really hardcore stuff. Well, Matt Black, you're probably talking about the Mars Attacks.
Yeah,
set.
that was Wally Wood as well.
That
wasn't
was Wally
Yeah.
Wood, the guy
Yeah.
who drew this, did the majority of those. I think that he did all of those cards.
Yeah.
There you
And
go.
you know what? I've got a set of those. We could.
Yeah.
It's the reprint set. We should probably go through them sometime real soon.
Did you have, I used to have that set. I don't know, but I also used to have the American Civil War set. Have you got that, Randy?
No, I don't.
Have you
I
seen
don't.
it? You know what
I can't say that I have.
You've never seen that,
No.
right? Russ, did you ever see, or have you ever seen the Second World War British cards, where
No.
where there were 2 or 3 of them banned because they showed beheadings and things like that?
No, I
John,
don't.
John.
No.
Yeah.
Not aware of those. No.
I had all
What
those.
a great thing to give to kids for trading
well,
cards.
I had all those sets, and they were the Tale of Me comics under the bed. They went the same way.
Um,
I have 3 card sets I'm really proud to have, and the Mars Attacks, which is a reprint set. I've got a reprint of the first set of Superman trading cards. That's Siegel Schuster art in it.
Wow.
That's also really, really nice to look at. And I've got a big box set. I don't have them in sleeves, which I really need to do. I've got them in a plastic box of a set that I think it was Topps that did it. That after Kirby had passed, they went through his archives and printed all of the oddball stuff that they could find that they could put on a trading card. And it's got really bizarre characters in it, beautiful ships, all sorts of just Kirby craziness in it that nobody had ever seen before. And some of it ended up in a few comics afterwards, but it's all just really pretty Kirby artwork. The only problem is it's the size of a trading card. It's a nice set. We go from the detail of wood again to the expressionism of Harvey Kurtzman. Yeah. With a couple of bums. Bum bum. Sorry.
Oh, how ironic that you said that, and then the whole place blew up.
Sorry, I just knocked it with my hand.
I know you did.
Charles says another great show, guys. Thank you.
It's actually
Charles, you're always welcome on. We've got that
Charles,
link.
get on.
If you're awake enough, you're always welcome in. You can come in anytime.
It's actually kind of funny that happened as I got a notification for a comment, and then I was just quickly scrolling through the comments, and there's the meme with the girl that and she's got an earthquake, and then she put her lipstick and it just went all over her face because the earthquake happened mid her doing her thing. Just as I scrolled through that,
I knocked the
Randy
camera.
was like,
Whoa. Yeah. Back of the shoe. Bottom of the shoe again here. Yep. Jack Davis. More great Kurtzman. Look at that. Straight on with the gun.
That previous page was a great drawing of that 30 caliber machine gun that he's carrying. The main panel. That's a 30 caliber. Yeah, it's fantastic drawing that. And the guy carrying the ammunition, really heavy.
Mm-hmm. Shoulders
Wow.
are
Yeah, just brilliant.
Yeah. Incoming mail.
Yeah. Z, boom, boom. Brilliant.
Just gotta love Kurtzman's inking, you know. How he's
Yeah.
pulling stuff up and pushing things back. So much, you know.
What's with the
Here
guys?
especially, little thin line, thick lines here in front.
The guy's foot sticking out there.
Yeah.
Look at that. Harvey Kurtzman doing Jack Davis.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a Jack Davis foot, all right there.
it was actually, maybe checking to see if the boot would be like, usable.
Yeah.
Yeah, the right size. And look at the way the guy on the top left is cradling that 30 cal. That's the way the guys carry them, don't they? They sort of, they sort of hug them because of the weight and the. Do you understand what I mean?
Oh yeah. Yep.
It's just so well observed.
Yeah. Like this shot here too. The gun.
Yeah.
Almost separating the two. Kid looking out, the guy's profile.
And the box as well with the bullets coming out from it.
Yeah.
Just fantastic.
Beautifully done.
Yeah. It's brilliant. Wow, look at that.
Nice shot. Look at the angle here. Bend. That's also fantastic. Look at that.
Yeah. It's just great. Look at the way on the bottom panel sentence, the way that he's showing the guy past the machine gunner and is white. His helmet's not filled in on the bottom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he dead or something? He doesn't look real, does he?
No, he did that to pop him back so that you're focused on this.
I'm just saying, look at the panel next to it, though, the second panel next to it, where you can sort of see the lines that he hasn't inked in, almost. Really strange. Good effect, though.
In here too, though.
Yeah.
Close up on that hand. Mario will be wearing this. Wearing his when I find him.
See the way the bottom right where he's turned and he's got the machine gun on his arm again. That's the way they would do that because otherwise the barrel would burn their arm. And the GIs used to have the machine gunner used to have a big glove that he could pick. When the barrel gets hot and they have to change it, he could pick the barrel off, pick the barrel up and move the gun. And that's what he's doing there. He doesn't have the glove, but he's got he's cradling in his arm, so he can't hold the barrel with his hand because it would burn him. Mm-hmm. It's just fantastic. And that rifle as well. On the previous panel, the way it's bottom up, that rifle he's got laid next to
here.
it. Yeah, the way it's sort of the wrong way around, so to speak. Fantastic. Wonderful.
It's all sorts of nice touches here.
Yeah.
Like you said earlier, like doing your research is important.
Yeah.
It's like a scene from Grange Hill, but it's a foot rather than a sausage. Yeah.
For our American friends. Grange Hill was
Is
a
that-
program in the 80s that was it was basically about a kid's school, and the introduction, the titles was a comic strip. Actually, I wondered who actually drew that comic strip, because I bet it was someone from the comic book industry at the time, because it was exceptionally well done, and it was very, very lightly animated. And the last thing you saw coming in was a fork in a sausage being thrown. So there you go. That's what that reference is.
Ah,
Sausage.
that ring on the hand ties in here at the end as they see the guy. They find Mario after all.
That's not just
He's
any
got the ring.
sausage. That's my sausage.
Yeah.
If you look at the next page where he's lifted the machine gun on his shoulder on the top panel,
Yep.
it looks really heavy, doesn't it? Like they are, you know, it looks
Yeah,
really
yeah.
heavy. He's really struggling with it because it's a heavy piece of equipment.
Yeah.
Wow.
Another tall boot there. Yeah. Ooh.
Damn.
Look at that. Men long dead were killed once more. Wow. They've blown them up.
And the
They
hand
did
is
that.
pink.
They did that. Let me give you some trivia about stuff like that. In the First World War, there's a place called Verdun in France, and the British artillery leathered this area where they knew these Germans were for 3 days. You know, just smashed them to pieces.
Mhm.
And when they got there, they found twice as many troops, dead troops, as they thought that the Germans had.
Hmm.
And then later they realized that they'd blown up all the dead bodies that had been buried.
Oh,
Oh man.
that's
Yeah.
hideous.
So they'd
Oof.
been buried. Those Germans occupied that, and they bombed them, and all the bodies came up.
Hmm.
It's grisly.
Facebook user says, "Love how the folds in clothing are drawn." Kurtzman's so good at that. Yes, he is.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Always all the best by the best. I'm telling you. I think that's it for this issue. We're gonna have to pick this up next time.
Yeah.
Take cover. There's a North Korean machine gun out there. Yeah. Okay.
Ah.
The stuff is so good. It's just sad to have to end the show.
Yeah. We still got two issues worth of stuff just on the first issue alone. That was Two Fisted Tales number 21. They're coming up to 22.
All right. Look forward to this one. Look at that.
Another great Kurtzman cover there. Some fantastic stuff.
Well, there's a quote I think from Wally Wood, and he's talking on the left there.
Yeah, they run interviews here on the side. It says, I don't remember exactly how Mermank's run came about, but I think I told Harvey that I'd like to do a story on the Merchant Marines. And so he wrote it. I was in the Merchant Marine, and I'd heard a lot of stories about the Mermank's run. Yeah.
Wow. My father-in-law was on the Murmansk run, on the HMS Duke of York.
Mm.
It was supplies coming from the United States across the North Atlantic, and he was protecting that. That's where he was.
Oh. David says, great show. Happy New Year's, guys. Yes, Happy New Year to you too, David.
Happy New
I
Year. Hope
think
you had a
next
great
week
Christmas.
we'll do a part 3 on Two Fisted Tales. We can keep going on this. I've got 3 other books with this much stuff in it. So
beautiful stuff, isn't it?
And just keeps getting better and better as we go along. Yep. There's entire issues there in the 3rd or 4th volume that's all Severin Westerns that are just amazing.
You know that just before we go, you look at that doorway where that guy's getting hit. Is somebody else behind the wall, because there's a hand.
Yeah, they're all there.
No, on the other side, so to speak. If you look at the doorway, there's a hand. There's fingers.
There is. Yeah.
So there's somebody else outside as well getting hit, probably.
Yep. Yeah, probably.
Wow.
Two Fisted Tales, folks. EC Comics. These are the Russ Cochran reprints. They come in a beautiful slipcase, 4 hardback volumes like this. If you ever see them at the show, you will probably pay $200 to $300 for the set. and take my word for it when I tell you it's more than worth the cost. So these are some great volumes, some phenomenal sequential artwork. Can't recommend it highly enough.
This is only a dream, but wouldn't it be wonderful to go to some sort of exhibition and see all this original artwork on the wall?
This has all been dispersed all over, who knows where.
Yeah,
all over the world, probably, because
Would be lovely.
This comic line is so instrumental as far as graphic sequential art goes that a lot of the big collectors from all over the world, I'm sure, have picked up these stories.
fabulous.
They had one on Antiques Roadshow.
Wow.
Not too long ago. Frankenstein parody from Mad. And at that point, the guy said that was worth $8,000, and then the price had gone way up since then. I mean, for that they had bought it as a lot for $1,000 or $2,000, the entire story, because they moved the whole stories at once. And a lot of these collectors have kept those stories together, and they had the entire story on display. And the guy was talking about the artwork. I think it was Bill Elder that did that particular story. If it had been Wood or Jack Davis, it would have been worth a lot more money, I would imagine. God. But yeah, folks, Two Fisted Tales here, Comics by Night. We'll pick up part 3 next week. So lots more stuff to see, lots more to show you. Whiskey, tell folks where they can find you.
Sure. You can find me there on the old X, Bandit Ricochet Art Studio. There, just throw that into Google. Something will come up. I do 3D modeling, action figures, that kind of stuff. Things like this. And if you ever need something made, I'm currently working on a comic book, writing it called Driftwood, story about necromancers. The art is by Renzo Rodriguez, pencils and inks. Russ Leach is actually working on a cover for that as well. And here's some of the characters that I've done reference art for the book. And just some miniatures, also set in the same universe. It's a tabletop war game called Banner Steed and Lance, which is sort of like a tie-in to the comic, or vice versa, if you will. And so you can just check out my stuff there. Send me a message at the old X, and if you need something made, and I'll get you hooked up.
Great. Matt Black, in a dad humor mood, quick one for you. Which kind of fish is made out of 2 sodium atoms? Tuna. Yeah. Russ, tell folks how they can find you.
You can find me at russleach.com. There you can find links to Only Death Can Save Us. I think I've got a collected trade paperback of Doctor Who coming out from Panini in the new year. But most importantly, The Shadow Kingdom with Arrow Comics and Randy Zimmerman. And that will go to Fund My Comic 1st of March. We're very close to the end of the inks. I'm just shading up those inks at the moment. The flat inks will be going off to be getting lettered soon. So it really is, it's imminent. It's there. And if you want to find out more about that and other things I do, sign up to the email list at russleach.com. And of course, come find me on social media. All the links are there at russleach.com. There's a few pages that have been grayed up.
Just great.
So it's what's going on there. There's a double page spread.
This is a faithful as possible adaptation of the Robert E. Howard story. Yeah. A big Howard fan, and the adaptations that have been done to this point of this story have not done it justice or any type of service. Here we're going to try to keep as much of the dialogue as possible, but it's a show don't tell medium. Right from Howard, there'll be a few quotes from the actual story in here. Plus, we'll run the prose story in the back so that you can compare the adaptation to the actual work. There'll be a forward and an afterword by people who just are just as passionate about Howard as we are, and we can't wait to put this product together and get it out to you.
Plus, a fantastic cover by the very man, Glenn B. Fleming. So there
we are. Yep.
Yeah. Hopefully
Hopefully,
it will be there.
whatever.
Can I just show you some? I've just been colouring some of Rusty's pencils from that series.
Glenn, I'm blowing you up. There you are.
Yeah.
Yep. Look at that.
Oh wow, look
This
at
is-
that. That's
this
like a
is-
storybook.
There you are.
This
Yeah.
is just the pencils. The pencils. I've not finished it yet. That guy's not going to be so green.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
But,
it looks great though.
That's lovely.
Wow.
It is. It's fantastic.
Very
Since we
nice.
got the camera on you, Glenn, tell folks how they can find you.
yeah, you can find me. Google me, and you'll find all kinds of stuff. If you go to Amazon and New Haven Publishing, you'll be able to pick up my book about Jack Kirby, which details my two visits to see the great man. And issue 14 of Comics Unlimited is now online. You can get that. There's Randy's got some stuff in there.
Just threw it in my basket yesterday.
Yeah.
Great. And it's a sort of a semi Doctor Who issue. And there's a nice tribute from Tony Ingram about Ian Gibson.
Sweet.
And if you go to Fund My Comic, you can pick up a copy of my character Hatch in the annotated book. And this has got lots of unpublished artwork, and it details the evolution of my character. You can pick that up on fundmycomic.com.
There we are. Great. Yeah, it's Comics Unlimited 14. Got a 6-page comic story in there about my exposure to Doctor Who.
Yeah.
So, as told through my cartoon monkey Spank. So, anyway, folks, go over to aerocomics.store. I've been your host, Randy Zimmerman, and over at aerocomics.store, you can find such books as Herobot Zero, which is a character I created. There's 2 issues of Herobot over there. He's a 3-foot-tall giant robot defending his city from large menaces as long as he can do it on the clock and get time and a half for overtime. Also, Calico Shard, which is a fantasy book, talking cat, elf who collects things, an Amazon centaur warrior, and a barbarian, chauvinistic barbarian fairy. So just for fun, and the wizard that keeps the team together as they try to put their world back together again. Paragon, also a superhero title. I'm really happy with. It's got a great twist ending to it. Can't wait to hear folks' reactions off of that. And The Fool, which is kind of a rodeo clown urban vigilante who goes through and fights street crime using practical joke weapons and humor and just a dumb sense of luck. And anybody he ties up for the police, he takes a section of their clothing as a trophy and incorporates it into his action outfit. So, and the cops are just trying to get him off the street just to keep him from harming himself and others. So go over there and take a look. That's aerocomics.store. Also go over to gofundme.com. Take a look at that Hatch annotated. Also over there are Aero products, AR13L, the Little Mermaid, which is a fun little parody satire of another more famous property, the Little Mermaid, along with her crab friend who's got a knife wielded to his claws called Stabastion over there. That's a great product. Also, Stabastion, yeah. Also over there, Soul Tack by Craig White. Go over there and take a look at that. And while you're there, just take a look at all the other great campaigns over at fundmycomic.com. So well worth your time to go over there and take a look. Some of the best, greatest independent comics are coming through fundmycomic.com, and it's we can't recommend that site highly enough. Jim Cox says, thanks for the stream, guys, even at the wee hours. We love being here early in the morning. We really do. We enjoy doing this. I drop the wife off at 4:30 in the morning and get back home and turn the cameras on. And Glenn and Russ are just finishing their morning over there.
Yeah. Yep. Lunchtime now.
And
Yeah,
Whiskey has the real torture. He's got to get up at 5 a.m. for no apparent reason other than to be on the show.
Ah,
Yeah, but I like being here. So.
We are archived over at the Randy Zim YouTube channel, the Comic Book Black Belt YouTube channel, and also at the Indie Comics Network YouTube channel. There's a lot of stuff to see. We've been doing this for about a year now with Comics by Night. Pardon me, I think over a year. We've been doing Sunday Funnies. It's Sunday at 9 a.m. That has the same kind of material, maybe a little bit more odd stuff, more the stuff that really inspires us and keeps us working in this field that we're working in now. And over there, it's all archived over at those channels. And there's a lot of great viewing. And we know most of our viewers, listeners, all come in after the fact because we're on at 5 a.m. We don't expect everybody to be up and catch the show live, but we do appreciate everybody in the chat. There's more new names, more folks watching us every week. We deeply appreciate it. And if you enjoy this program, make sure you tell your friends because we love showing this stuff off. I think you can tell our passion's infectious. You can't help but really enjoy a lot of this material. And there's so much great comic work out there just begging to be shown and pointed to, examined and looked at. And it just makes us better artists as we do it, you know, and we can't tell you how much we appreciate you being here. Please tell your friends that we're doing this because we love doing it. We've got so much stuff, especially between Glenn and Russ and myself. We're still dipping into my library here. I think we've had one show from Russ's collection. That
we did two. Yeah, we did an early one on John Buscema, which we'll have to do again.
Yeah,
and we did one on Brian Bolland.
I had
that art book.
Jason's got another artisan book he keeps offering for me to show off. That's Buscema.
I've got several artisan books. I've got a lovely Silver Surfer. I've got a Remitter, Gil Kane, Spider-Man. So there's some lovely stuff there. Yeah.
This Sunday morning at 9 a.m., we're going to go a little lighter on some stuff. We're going to look at a book that's a collection of Space Hawk by Basil Wolverton.
Yeah.
Wow. Nice.
Just to kick off the new year. Great inking work. Again, by one of the most misunderstood masters of this art form. And I hope you stop by for that. Space Hawk. It's a lot of fun. It's an old collection reprint book, again, in black and white. So color's not going to get in the way of all of that. And look at all of that beautiful line work there that Basil's known for. Just some phenomenal work and oddball drawings as well.
Cracking monkey pig monster.
Yep, monkey pig monster. Yep. Yeah. That's Space Hawk coming up at Sunday Funnies this Sunday at 9 a.m. And again, folks, thanks a lot for being here. Try to visit your local retailer. They could really use your business. If you love comics, talk about comics. You know, tell your friends about comics. It's just such a great art form, such a great form of communication. We love being here. So we deeply appreciate you being here as well. Jim says, I'm on the West Coast, LOL. So it's only,
6 o'clock, was it?
It's 4 o'clock over there. Yep, 4 in the morning.
Wow.
We understand.
Fully comics by night for you, Jim. Thank you so much.
Whiskey admitted he was in Canada the other day, so West Coast isn't that bad.
Feel attacked.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
Don't make me break out the maple syrup reserve or strategic maple syrup reserve.
There you go.
How dare you?
Our Zamboni technologies put you guys to shame.
That's right. Red, green. Yep. Women can't find you handsome. At least they can find you handy. Folks, take care. Love you all. See you Sunday morning. Have a happy New Year.
Yeah, have a
Sunday is New Year's Eve, so it's not quite 2024 yet, but it will be. We'll be here Sunday for you, and then we'll be back again Friday morning for more Two-Fisted Tales. See you then. Take care, everyone.
See you.
See you, folks.
Do you draw the Flintstones naked? There's a market for that.
What was that? This is not a charade. We need total concentration. Now, once again, this time, with the...
Some men just want to watch the world burn.
Can't nobody tell me nothing.
How dare you?
Get off my lawn.
The views and opinions expressed within the video content found on the Indie Comics Network are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Indie Comics Network or its sponsors.
So this is the divine intervention. You could become a spiritual guru on your own, but you just have to tie your shoes, and you just have to know how to eat burritos backwards.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit.